Quick note before we get underway with the video, guys. Clearly this video did not come out on May the 5th, regardless whether it's called Revenge of the 5th, Return of the 5th, The 5th Strikes Back. Regardless, it didn't clearly come out on the 5th. In fact, no video I was able to produce on the 5th because I ran into a lot of technical difficulties yesterday, and I'm hoping that this video gets rendered and edited and out today on the 6th. So regardless, I'm not going to end up re-recording a bunch of the videos and making sure that every single edit is in place. This video was recorded on the 5th with the intention of putting it out on the 5th, but it just didn't happen that way. So apologize in advance if it sounds a little odd when it's coming out on the 6th, or I hope on the 6th. So let's just enjoy the rest of the video. May the 5th strikes back. Now I know that a lot of people are going to go, Griever, that's not what it is. It's Revenge of the 5th. Don't you know that? And I'm like, yes, I do, but Revenge of the 6th sounds so much better. So what are we going to actually call May the 5th? Because I completely agree with everybody that May the 4th be with you is a fantastic day. It's Star Wars Day, but Star Wars is so grandiose, it cannot be limited by such a thing like a 24-hour period. So it needs to go further. That being said, never really liked Revenge of the 5th. Revenge of the 6th sounds better. Now, I will clear up one thing. Just because we talked about A New Hope and stuff a little bit and, the start of the franchise in 1977 for yesterday, it felt appropriate to do the Empire Strikes Back reference today, but I will admit that one doesn't really fit. How about Attack of the 5th? Well, see, but so many people hate on Attack of the Clones. Honestly, I don't mind the movie. But a lot of people hate on Attack of the Clones. So, Return of the 5th. That's what we'll do. We'll go May the 4th be with you, Return of the 5th, and Revenge of the 6th. Perfect. 72 hours of pure nothing but Star Wars. That being said, guys, it's your host, Griever, as always. And today, though, unlike yesterday, because, that video, when I talked about the beginning of the franchise, and Darth Vader, and, Sand, and A New Hope, and the beginning of it all, that video did so well. So damn well that I know that you guys were waiting with bated breath for me to talk more Star Wars, and you clearly wanted to hear me talk about Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. So that being the case, instead though, I felt like, nah, that's too lame. 3 days of just, hey, I'm gonna talk about the first movie, and hey, guess what? Tomorrow I'll talk about the second movie. That's too predictable. And you guys know I'm unpredictable. I'm wacky. I've lost my mind 3 days ago. So, point of the matter is that instead I thought we'd break up the mold a little bit. We're still gonna do Star Wars, but I decided to try to do something a little different. So what I did end up finding was 31 questions, not trivia questions for Star Wars, because I'm a bit of a Star Wars buff myself, a bit of a nerd, sort of idea. But that being said, I'm also not an expert either, and that wouldn't really be fun for me to just sit here and do a quiz or whatever. I thought it'd be more fun to ramble on because, of course, just like yesterday's video, this is unplanned, this is unscripted, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So I decided we are going to do the 31 days of Star Wars, which is of the month of May. You're supposed to, apparently it's a Twitter or an Instagram thing or something like that, every day, so that you can get to know somebody and their feelings and their passions and their likes and dislikes about Star Wars. You answer one question every single day. I'm going to do all 31 in this video. I just thought that would be a lot of fun. It goes anywhere from your favorite movie to your favorite character to your favorite force power, whatever. And I just thought we'd go through each one of them. It should make for a semi-entertaining video, and you guys can at least find out and know my tastes on the series for the most part, and we can just go from there. So let's start off with question 1, which is, what is your favorite era of Star Wars? And once again, guys, you guys can follow along, and you can let me know what your answers are to each of these questions. And if you want to do a short explanation as to why, or you just want to answer the questions, that's fine too. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. Now, my favorite era of Star Wars, that's a bit of a tough one. We're jumping out of the gate with a little bit of a difficult one, I feel, because when I was growing up, of course, I love almost every era of Star Wars. The ironic thing is that the real toss-up, I feel, one of the big toss-ups is between the Old Republic era, Mandalorian Wars, Jedi Civil War, that kind of stuff, and the original post, the expanded universe. I refuse to call it Legends. The expanded universe Star Wars post Return of the Jedi. The New Jedi Order, the Solo kids, Mary Jade, all that stuff, Vector Prime, all that stuff. Even though it was a little darker and sort of hit me different when I was a kid growing up on it, I really enjoyed following the characters that I knew, that I grew up with. So it was definitely a little bit nostalgia-based, childhoodness. I was only a teenager, I was only a kid, but I definitely really enjoyed the expanded universe post New Jedi Order sort of era. I don't like, actually, it's my only disliked era, would be the Disney version of events, in all honesty. But that being the case, is what it is. But yeah, so really I like all eras, but I mean, if I had to pick one, I mean, this week it could be Old Republic, next week I don't really have a nailed down favorite era, because I like so many aspects from so many different eras, but we'll just say the Old Republic era for now. Definitely enjoyed the Old Republic era. Okay, so question number 2 is, what is your favorite film in the franchise? So this would include, the Clone Wars film and all that stuff, but that's irrelevant to me, because my favorite film, I would say, would have to be Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is probably my favorite film in the entire franchise. We get the idea of the Force lightning. It's the end of the original trilogy. It's the end of the story. It's the happy ending. Luke Skywalker becomes a bit of a badass Jedi with a bad haircut, but that was just the times. But Mark Hamill is much more confident. He looks more like a Jedi, more like a badass. He's dressed in black. He's got the green lightsaber, very iconic. There's a lot going on there in Return of the Jedi. So for me, Return of the Jedi is probably my favorite film. If I had to pick one, I'll go with Return of the Jedi. Day 3 is, or question number 3, I guess it would be, is light side or dark side of the Force? Well, I will admit, now, once again, guys, this is up for interpretation, but a lot of people would say that, there are dark and light side, Force powers and stuff. And I will admit, in all honesty, I definitely like the idea of Force choking and lightning blasting people. That sounds pretty cool. And, I mean, the yellow eyes, sometimes they look creepy, sometimes they look badass, is what it is. But I'm going to have to choose the light side of the Force. Because the light side of the Force, I actually would personally sort of walk the gray path, sort of a Qui-Gon Jinn sort of idea. A maverick of the Jedi, but certainly not a Sith. Does that make sense? I would walk that line. Not a master of either side, but just focusing on trying to view the Force clearly as a whole, sort of idea. Now that would lead to some more dark side and anger issues and tendencies, but it would also let me have just a little bit more understanding and reverence and stuff like that. So definitely for me, if I had to pick one, I'd go light side, but I'd like to toe that line, so to speak. Not too close to the dark, not too close to light. Happy equilibrium for me. Now, question number 4 has been throwing me for a little bit of a loop here, guys, because the question is, what is your favorite headcanon? Now, before I answer this question, really quickly, just going to say that I don't consider, just because Disney decided to erase everything pre-2017 or whatever they did, I'm not considering that everything from 77 all the way up to 17 is non-canon, that everything is headcanon. The Knights of the Old Republic games, Kyle Katarn, the New Jedi Order, and everything in between is all headcanon. It's not headcanon. It happened, it was written, it was published, it was a part of Star Wars. So that's not headcanon. Headcanon to me is having an opinion based on something. What character could beat what character, etc., right? So just wanted to clear that up when I answer this question. Knights of the Old Republic, the first game, because the whole thing is non-canon. So that's my headcanon. Not like that. No. Headcanon to me would be more of a theory or a versus matchup, who would win, etc. So in this case, I thought of a few things. I thought of some funny answers like Han shot first or what have you. And I thought about a few minor things I do believe in the explanation that Qui-Gon could have beaten Darth Maul, but there was a lot of factors against him. The tight space, the form he decided to use, his age, etc., all that stuff, right? I could use stuff like that, but I think my big one is the idea. I read this theory a few years ago, and I really do like it because it ties up something that a lot of people didn't like in Revenge of the Sith, which was Padme losing the will to live. That was a really cheap death for a lot of people, and a lot of fans were angry about it, and it does seem lame. But the theory goes that the way the movie is shot, between the operation on Anakin to become Darth Vader and the pregnancy and the birth of Luke and Leia happening simultaneously, being shot back, right? That is the fact that apparently Palpatine or Vader unconsciously himself, I've heard both theories, that Palpatine purposely did it. I think it's more like Vader is unconsciously doing it without realizing. That I sort of like that better, I don't know why. But that she's not losing the will to live. He's sustaining his life force by stealing hers unintentionally. Question number 5, unfortunately, I can't really answer because I never finished watching it. I started to watch season 1 and it sort of just fell off for some reason. I sort of forget why. But the question is, what is my favorite Clone Wars episode or arc? Now, I know that they're talking about the newer one, not the old 2D animated one that used to be on. As far as the 2D one, I love the fact how a menace that Grievous was, and I really love the fact. So that's how I'm going to have to answer, because, guys, I haven't seen it. So I'll just answer with what episode I really liked of the 2D Clone Wars show. And that's the one where we find out why Grievous in Revenge of the Sith is basically always coughing and because Mace, because Grievous was a menace to the Jedi, and he was kicking ass, he was dangerous, he was beating up full Jedi Knights and Jedi Masters, as we saw in this episode. But Mace Windu, as being, well, he's goddamn Mace, he ends up being even a match for Grievous, and in the end, when Grievous is trying to escape, he force crushes part of his chest, causing a crushing of his heart and creating the rasp and the wisp and the coughing that we hear in Revenge of the Sith. Now, question number 6, once again, can't really answer fully because I'm not 100% sure on this, but it's my favorite Clone Wars character. From what I saw in The Mandalorian and from what I've read before and stuff, Ahsoka Tano seems like a very well-developed character, seems like a good character. I like her, so I'm going to have to go with Ahsoka Tano from the limited number of episodes I saw of Clone Wars and, of course, the episode with The Mandalorian, as Ahsoka Tano is in that. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Ahsoka Tano for now until I watch the whole thing. But so I don't really have much to say on that. Favorite Clone Wars character? Ahsoka Tano. But I feel like that would be a lot of people's favorite, so I don't think I'm like, oh my god, you didn't see season 3 and the greatest character shows up or anything. So I feel like that's not the case. So I'm confident in saying that and not answering the question. Now, question 7 I am going to have to skip because I'm not 100%. It's, what's your favorite clone trooper? Well, I mean, I don't have to skip it. I like Commander Cody. How's that? I like Commander Cody. I don't know really enough about the other clone troopers. Apparently, they get crazy development. I know that there's apparently a lot of three-dimensional storytelling in the Clone Wars series, really making us feel for a lot of these clones. And I did watch enough episodes to see that a lot of them, like, actually cut their hair in different way and stuff so they can sort of get some sense of individuality and stuff, and that sort of hits home, and apparently that's expanded upon throughout the series. So I definitely am going to watch more of the series, but for right now, just going to have to go with Commander Cody because I don't really know any of the other guys. So there's the answer for that one. Question number 8 is always going to be extremely hard for me because I like different characters for different reasons, and it's who is your favorite Jedi? Now, see, I have a lot of favorite Jedi. I love Qui-Gon Jinn, I love Yoda, I love Luke Skywalker. Easy top 3, I would argue, for me. I mean, Revan and Obi-Wan following very, very quickly, but definitely I would say it's a tie between those 3. I've really enjoyed them, and I find it really hard to pick between them. Now, of course, question number 9 is the sister companion question to question number 8, which is, who is your favorite Sith in the entire series? Now, it's got to be, it's pretty straight up for me. It's either Vader or it's Revan. Question number 10 is your favorite lightsaber, and that's just an easy answer. I know what a lot of people are going to pick, but it's an easy answer for me. It's Luke Skywalker's green saber. I like the color, I like the design, favorite, easy. Moving on. Now, question number 11, I sort of already talked about in the question number 4, which was a little odd with the whole headcanon question, and this is canon or legends. Once again, since legends which once again, let's call it by its real name, the EU, the Expanded Universe, includes the original 6 movies, I don't see any reason. There is literally no reason not to pick the Expanded Universe. Because the only thing that lies outside of the Expanded Universe are 3 movies, one of which is the worst movie in the entire franchise. Now, question number 12 is sort of difficult for me because I don't know what would be considered an unpopular opinion. Day number 12 is, what is your biggest unpopular opinion about the series? And I honestly don't know what it is other than, like, I guess power scaling matchups or something. I don't have some outlandish thing where I say, like, Disney did a great job, or The Mandalorian sucks, or something like outlandish. I don't really have anything like that. I seriously don't. I guess my easiest one is a very popular character, Darth Bane. I don't like Bane. I think he's a bit of a, like, I just don't, it's not that I really dislike him, it's that people credit him as, oh my god, he's so great, oh my god this, oh my god that. It's like, he invented the rule of 2. No, he didn't. That was Revan. So let's just go with that. But people will say, well, yeah, but Bane came first and then Revan came later, so it didn't really happen that way. It's like, no, they expanded that, and yeah, he did. You have to accept all the expanded universe. You can't just accept little things that happened, right? So I guess my unpopular opinion is, I don't think Darth Bane's that great. He's not in my top 10 Sith. Put it to you that way. I guess that's the most I can come up with. Question number 13 is, what is your favorite ship? Now, the actual, I'm so glad I'm sort of reading ahead a little bit, sort of to try to prepare mentally for these questions, because then the next question 14, is what's your favorite actual ship? So they were asking about, like, a romantic ship or whatever. So, because I was actually going to answer it as a ship and then go, oh, the other one. So, what is my favorite pairing, or what is my favorite ship? I think I would go, because in the as far as the movies go, I don't really have a ship necessarily that I enjoy too much within movie. The characters that are ended up with the characters are the ones I like, so it's fine dandy. As far as that goes, I would say though, let's see, there was in the expanded universe, there was the novelizations between, what was her name, Suri and Obi-Wan was a good ship. I believe it was Suri. She was a fellow Jedi. She was around the time there was novelizations between episodes 1 and episodes 2. And yeah, there was a Suri, what is her last name? Suri something. Anyway, her and Obi-Wan seemed to be more than friends, and I definitely shipped them together. I believe Suri actually, spoilers, I believe she died, and that was really hard on Obi-Wan, because it might have went that way. So yeah, as far as ships go, that or the female Jedi exile with Atton Rand. I definitely like that. I definitely like that ship. Question number 14, though, is the actual ship. What is my favorite actual ship? Well, it's very easy to say the Millennium Falcon. I think a lot of people will say the Millennium Falcon. Some people might. A lot of people love Boba Fett's ship. A lot of people love the Slave, or the Slave 2, or whatever. Slave 1 or Slave 2, whatever. Jango's and then whatever. Yeah, Millennium Falcon is the easy answer. I definitely liked favorite ships. I really like the speeder bikes, but I'm trying to think. I like a lot of the ships. I like Darth Vader's ship. I like the shuttle. I like the Death Star. I mean, if that's even a ship. I'll pick Millennium Falcon, but actually the Ebon Hawk from the Knights of the Old Republic is a very close second. I know that that's the point. It's based off the Millennium Falcon. They sort of had the same idea for the nostalgia factor, but the Ebon Hawk is definitely a really cool ship. I loved being on board the Ebon Hawk, giving you that Millennium Falcon sort of nostalgia at the same time of being in the old era. So yeah, we'll go with either or. Millennium Falcon, sure. Question number 15, favorite battle. Now, that doesn't mean, as far as I'm aware, I'm trying to look down the list, I don't see anybody mentioning a favorite lightsaber duel. So it depends on what you mean by battle. Do you mean like on scale, like a battle, like a skirmish, like the war, like at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, where everybody's going nuts above Coruscant and boom, 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 boom? Do you mean like the attack on the Death Star, those kind of battles? Do you mean a land battle, like in Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks or whatever, or the Battle of Hoth? Or do you mean a lightsaber duel? So just in case we don't, because I'm looking down the list and I don't see it, in case it's we don't get lightsaber duel, I'll just do one for each. I really enjoyed as far as the lightsaber duel, Anakin versus Obi-Wan Revenge of the Sith is probably my favorite duel in the entire series. The music's on point, the battle's on point, the choreograph's on point. Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor worked their ass off for that duel. It was amazing. Lots to say about that duel. But if it's just an actual battle, I'm torn between the Battle of Hoth and the Battle of Endor, both above, because that's a sort of a dual battle. We get the below the sky and above the, the sort of on planet and above planet. Maybe Battle of Endor. I'll go with Battle of Endor, but Battle of Hoth's a close second. So we're going Anakin versus Obi-Wan for a lightsaber duel, if that's not a question, and we'll go with the Battle of Endor as far as the other ones. Favorite planet is question number 16. Ooh, favorite planet. Probably something basic like Tatooine or Endor, or actually Coruscant sounds pretty cool, like a giant city as a damn planet, like the whole planet's a city. That seems pretty cool. Yeah. Or that one, this is going to be ironic, or that one in The Last Jedi with the ice foxes, because I feel like I'd really like to own an ice fox pet. Question 17 is my favorite weapon. Okay, let's assume no lightsabers, okay? Because that's everybody's favorite weapon. Everybody's favorite weapon is the lightsaber. If it's not, kudos to you. But if we're going away from lightsaber, my favorite weapon, my ally is the Force. Favorite weapon. I would say probably Han Solo's blaster is pretty cool. I like Han's blaster or Chewie's crossbow, the bowcaster. That's pretty freaking cool. I like the bowcaster. We'll go with the bowcaster. Question number 18 is who shot first? Clearly Greedo did. Clearly Greedo shot first. Yeah, no, I'm not. No. Han shot first. We all know it. I don't watch the special edition, so it never matters to me. It's clear as day in the 77 version. Question number 19 is invite 3 characters to dinner. That's an odd one. Invite 3 characters. Well, I mean, I saw the last time Vader tried to put a dinner party together. I mean, he put together this big outlandish dinner. He's sitting at the head of the table. He's got this grand feast prepared, and Han just starts blasting him. It's like, that's not the way you introduce yourself to your future father-in-law, Han. You ruffian, you scoundrel. Question number 20 is, what is my favorite quote? It's probably a Yoda line. I love his talks in The Empire Strikes Back. Or actually, you know what, because a lot of people will say his, like, I already quoted him with his explanation for my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. Life creates it, makes it grow, surrounds us. You know, all that fun, the speeches he had for there, like size matters not and all that stuff. He had some great lines there. You know what I'm going to go with? I sort of want to choose something a little unique. And I think here's, in my opinion, the unique one is clearly the Darth Vader no in the edited special edition of Return of the Jedi. That's clearly everybody's favorite line. I goddamn hate it, and I can't watch special edition Return of the Jedi. It was terrible to add that in. But I'm going to go on and say Return of the Jedi, though, and I'm going to say, Master Yoda, you can't die. Strong am I with the Force, but not that strong. Now, question 21 is a difficult one for a lot of people because how do you pick between John Williams and John Williams? How do you pick between them? Because the question is, what is my favorite score? Definitely all the scores are fantastic. I'm going to go, I forget what it's called. I really do. It's Duel of Fates, but the Anakin versus Obi-Wan fight. It might be called Anakin versus Obi-Wan or something simplistic like that, but it's got the Duel of Fates thing, but it's the tragic version sort of idea. Now, question 22 and unfortunately question 23 are two that I can't really answer, so we're going to have to change up the questions because the questions are my favorite Rebels episode or arc and the favorite Rebels character, where I have not seen any of Rebels. That is sort of a very difficult question. So we are going to change this one up to what is my favorite video game based on Star Wars and what is my favorite video game character. And to change it up a little bit, my favorite Star Wars game as a whole, I would still say to this day, is the original Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic 2, it's sort of hard to pick between them sometimes, but definitely one of those two games for a multitude of reasons. It's just amazing. And my favorite character in that video game is a bit of a toss-up because I've already picked Revan for a couple answers. I've talked about Revan enough in this video. So it's clearly Revan, but to change it up a little bit, let's go either HK-47, because he's awesome, or Kreia. Kreia was a very interesting character in Knights of the Old Republic 2. Question 24, what is my favorite book? Vector Prime hit different. It hit hard because, I mean, I don't want to spoil anybody as to what happens in Vector Prime in case you've never read it. But Vector Prime hit different. At first, I didn't like it because of certain things. Now I appreciate what they were trying to do, and it was a very powerful book, and it's one of the big name books that a lot of people will know just by, you say Vector Prime, you know exactly what people are talking about. Question number 25 is, what is my dream cosplay? Clearly, I would love to dress up as a Jedi. I'd love to get authentic, full-on Jedi robes, books and stuff like that, but I never watched the series. I don't know why I don't, or why I'm not binge watching it right now. But we have question 26 is what is my favorite Resistance episode, and question 27 is what's my favorite Resistance character. So as I haven't seen it, that makes it a little difficult. So what I'm going to do for this one is simply go for these questions, we're going to just do least favorite. Least favorite of the Star Wars movies and least favorite character in Star Wars. So, least favorite movie is easily The Last Jedi. Easy answer. Even though there is a fantastic moment and it's showcasing Mark Hamill a lot, who, once again, that's what we went to see. We didn't really care about the new characters, Disney, come on. So I'm definitely going to go with Last Jedi, though. Yeah, I'm actually drawing a bit of a blank on this one, guys, because I already named the popular ones, and I feel bad for saying Rose because I read about all the hate the actress was getting who played Rose in The Last Jedi and stuff in the sequel trilogy, and she got a lot of hate, and that's not fair. Yeah, so definitely... It's very difficult. I could easily chalk it up to somebody like Snoke or Rose, though. Definitely, almost guaranteed someone from the sequel trilogy. I got it. Phasma. A lot of people liked Phasma. I didn't get it. What makes this stormtrooper so goddamn good? I don't know. Is she Mandalorian under silver armor? I don't know. I got no idea what her backstory is. I think she's from the comics or whatever. People hyped her up like crazy, and now I'm just like, I could take her or leave her, and she didn't impress me throughout that entire sequel. So, question 28 is a bit of a difficult one, really, because it's what's your favorite creature or alien? That's a hard one. It really is, because, I mean, it's easy to answer things like Wookiees. Like, I would love to meet some Wookiees, as long as they didn't want to kill me. I mean, Wookiees are really cool. The Hutts as an underworld antagonist, the species is grotesque and disgusting, but they have this, that's their intention, and they work very well as that. Twi'leks. I mean, let's be realistic here. Twi'lek dancers. Can anybody else say yes? As long as they aren't slaves, because that happens to a lot of poor Twilight females, and that's very wrong. I like my teddy bears. I like my Ewoks. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to choose those shiny little ice fox creatures from The Last Jedi. We need to give The Last Jedi at least something, because it did like 2 things right in the entire movie, and that was one of them. Those creatures are goddamn adorable. Screw the porgs and all that shit. These beautiful ice things that look like Eevee evolutions. Yeah, I'm good with it. I want one. So yeah, that's what we'll go with. That is what we'll go with for now. Question 29, I already sort of answered. It's what's your favorite droid? HK-47. Very easy answer for me. And the final 2 questions are about the series that everybody's raving about, that everybody loves, that is now basically starting an entire new series of Star Wars fans and everything like that, The Mandalorian. Question number 30 is my favorite Mandalorian episode and my favorite Mandalorian character. Now, for the sake of not sort of forgetting stuff, as far as Mandalorian characters go, I'm only going to include characters, to the best of my knowledge, that were created for the series. So, certain characters that show up at the end and stuff, and 3, 2, 1, we're going to have spoilers. Luke Skywalker showing up at the end. Luke Skywalker does not count as a Mandalorian character. Things like that, okay? But as far as question number 30, my favorite Mandalorian episode, I'm going to have to go. Because The Mandalorian basically was Firefly, the first season. That was sort of grabbing episodes from Firefly pretty much and redoing the script. And I loved it. I don't blame them for that, because this is Firefly 2.0 and it's fantastic with the Star Wars element sort of hanging over. But I'm going to have to go with... Because the hallway scene was amazing at the end of season 2. The hallway scene, we all love it. So yeah, but that wasn't my favorite. My favorite episode was the episode before it. Forget what it was called. It's the Bill Burr episode. It's the episode with Bill Burr in it for the second time. At the second last episode of season 2, it was amazing. It was a great episode through and through, from beginning to end. Yes, the season finale was extremely good, but it was the last 15 minutes that made it amazing. The episode with Bill Burr, and especially the dynamic of them, you know, with the whole helmet removal and face recognition and giving up a code and the emotions. A lot of people just, I don't know why they didn't think this, but a lot of people looked on and said, Bill Burr can act? Like, that was a big thing when that episode came out. Everybody went nuts for Bill Burr can act, because that scene was so powerful in the, the mess, in the mess hall with the Imperial officer. You could see the emotion, you could see the torment. I mean, but the whole episode as a whole, building to that, was so unexpected. It was a great episode, and the fact of the matter is, we might see more of them, which is just exciting to a lot of people. So I think that's my favorite episode, because it came out of nowhere. It was so unexpected for him to not only come back from season 1, but also have such a great episode in season 2. So that's what I'm going to go for there. And question number 31 is my favorite Mandalorian character. I'm probably going to have to chalk it up to Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. But that's the end of it, guys. That is the end of the list. This video probably went on a lot longer than I intended it to, so that sucks. But, it is what it is. I'm sure I'll get thousands of views and hundreds of comments on this one, right? So, anyways, so those are the 31 questions. Hopefully you guys were able to answer them better than I could for certain ones, like the Rebels and the Resistance questions and stuff like that. But yeah, those are my answers. Like, comment, subscribe, yada yada yada. May the 5th strike back, I guess. May the 5th, return of the 5th, as we were going to call it, I guess. There we go. This is Star Wars Day. Like, comment, subscribe. The day after Star Wars Day. Star Wars is forever, for all generations. Let's not limit it to just Star Wars Day. Okay, so thanks guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you back here next time. Peace out.